My professor won an Oscar. Ric Flair is the most overrated wrestler of all time. WWE's moronic storylines, and in a Patreon exclusive, a pasture resurrects a man. Yes, I'm recording this a little early. Deal with it.
The recently canceled podcast with Don Fry.
Hey, how goes it? So, the Oscars were just the other day, and I want to comment on this now before it becomes super old news. One of the awards, I didn't pay attention to it, I did not watch a single second of the Oscars. But the next day, I wake up, go have some breakfast, and my mom's like, hey, did you see who won an Oscar? Somebody you know? I'm like, oh, Regina King, I have her autograph on a poster from when she was on Southland. She's like, no, somebody you know better than that. What are you talking about? And she goes, the guy from KU, your professor. I'm like, Kevin Wilmot? Yeah, he won an Oscar, and he was one of 4 people to win an Oscar for Best Adapted Screenplay. You know, side note, one of the easier ways to win an Oscar. But this was for Black Klansman, the Spike Lee joint, who I guess Spike Lee was really upset that he didn't get more, like he didn't get the Best Picture over Green Book. It's like he's always foiled by... He puts out some race bait movie, and then white people's version of a race movie beats his version. And it's not to say that yours has the wrong subject matter. It's, Spike Lee, you're not that talented of a director. You're not that good of a filmmaker. Maybe you're a better writer than a filmmaker. Maybe you have better concepts, but you're not that good of a filmmaker. That's the reality of it. And when you have a movie that turns out good, it's because somebody else carried it. It's like Denzel Washington took it over. So yeah, a guy who I studied screenwriting under and whom I worked for on a summer 2007. I worked on a movie he was directing. It was across the Kansas area. It's called The Only Good Indian. I'm actually in it for, I kid you not, a couple of frames as I open a door, and I think I pull the lead out of a shed that I'd put him in. My role was called guard number 1, but more official, I'm a production assistant, which pretty much means janitor on the movie set. And now I can put on my resume as I get rejected from Walgreens that I worked under Academy Award winner Kevin Wilmot, worked on one of his movies. What does this mean to Kansas? Well, this is a guy, he's still a professor at the University of Kansas in Lawrence, has been for a while, gives a little more street cred. Everything he touches now is going to get in some kind of festival. Does it get in theaters? No, not necessarily. You have to have names. No names can win Oscars. Hell, this Olivia Colman, couldn't tell you anything about her. Gets Best Actress, right? That doesn't make her a movie star. That's not quite how it works. Ask Roberto Benigni or F. Murray Abraham, what they've been up to lately. This is the reality of it. It's still about being a star, and an award doesn't necessarily make you a star. Weirdly enough, the day before the Oscars, we had an issue in my house. I guess it's Poltergeist, okay? I was watching the movie Poltergeist a few days earlier, and then I'm playing some Xbox real early in the morning, like 2:30 a.m. and all of a sudden, lights and the television come on in the kitchen. I thought my mom was getting a call from my dad because he's in Tokyo at the time, and I'm like, what's going on over here? Somebody breaking the house? They're having a conversation? And my mom's like, goes in the kitchen. It's like, Vaughn, what are you doing watching? And I'm not there. And it's weird that sort of thing came on, and I can't tell if it was before or after this, but while I was playing Xbox, I made a joke during my Xbox play, and it went over, it's just an off-the-cuff wisecrack, and it went over really well. And that wisecrack has kind of snowballed quickly. Later that day, I started thinking, I could make a movie out of that. And then Kevin Wilmot wins an Oscar. And this is somebody I have the ability to contact. And this is a kind of movie that'd be right up his alley, too. So I have to wonder now if I really want to put more time in writing out a screenplay and maybe making less YouTube content. Because let's be real, 5 of you might be listening to this. I'm getting more subscribers than I'm getting viewers. And it's really frustrating because I see channels with similar subscription base, and they have people coming back to watch their videos. And if you look at my analytics, it's like 93% of my views come from non-subscribers and people who don't even end up subscribing. It's astonishing. So I don't know why people aren't coming back, and I feel like YouTube is making a roadblock. They don't want you knowing I'm uploading new content. For some reason, people I'm close to are even like shocked. I didn't know you upload something else. I'm like, look, I upload something every day or even twice a day. It's not that big of a surprise. guys. But there's a YouTube roadblock there. And if you look at the people who are even at the top of the chain, you know they're getting screwed. PewDiePie, if he had a TV network, he would be a billionaire. But you're just somebody in Google's network. They give you this illusion that you have a channel, but really you have a show, and you're not making TV channel money, no matter who you are. PewDiePie is just somebody who's uploading to Google. And that's it. Everybody has this feeling that you're supposed to be honored and privileged to be here. There's too many people uploading. It doesn't feel like a great thing to be doing with my time and my talents, and I'd rather put some time into making a feature. And I think this could be a good route to go. So let me know what you think about that. And by that, I mean comment below for Christ's sake.